What's up, guys? It's me, King Alpha. I hope everybody's doing great. So, today I just want to talk about some of the best techs to really be focusing on. Um, this could be just for anybody. This is something that you should be aiming for when you're doing your technology. Obviously, I haven't played in 5 months, so I haven't been able to focus a lot on my technology and what I really want to um, really do with it, basically. But, anyways, skipping that, what are the techs that you really need to focus? Now, obviously, people and everyone wants to focus T5. You know what I mean? Because T5 is something you really need. Well, you don't really need, but like something that everybody wants, to have T5. But what can you focus on before that? What's the best text to focus on before that to actually make yourself powerful, make yourself even just useful? Because even if you don't have T5, that doesn't mean you're not useful. You can have T4 and still dominate the battlefield. I've seen T4 beat T5 as well, and if you're working as a team, it can really work out well towards you. So some of the best early techs to focus on for the economic technology is obviously masonry. Hopefully I don't butcher these names. But we'll see. So this early on, you can even max this out with actually searching the map. I think for those little town things, I believe they do max out your little masonry thing here. I know they max out this and this. I believe so. Yeah, I believe they do max out that. So you can get that really early. It's really good because it does give you that 50% building speed boost, and that's something you just really need. So after you get through this little one tech over here of allowing you to farm gold, you actually get this writing. This writing is so good because of the fact that it gives you that 10% boost for research speed, which you're actually researching for research speed. It's kind of funny. So that's something that's also really important. When it comes down to over here, the chisel and the metalworking, you don't really need to focus on that. I mean, it's good because obviously it gives you a little bit of power, it gives you a little resource production, but the main things are actually gathering speed of your resources so that you can actually farm faster. So obviously you want to max out these. Even if it's only a 15% boost, it does really help out a lot in the long run. Coming over here, you do get your resource protection, which is increased, so you get an increase of 15%, which is pretty good. I mean, most of the time though, you're always going to have resources outside of your resource protection, which is your storehouse. So I don't know. It feels kind of useless to have this tech, but obviously it's in the way. Wheel is really good, even though it's such a low amount, like a low percentage. It's only 5% troop load, but this 5% troop load does help out a lot when it comes to either when you're attacking the city and taking their resources. If you have a high troop load, you can literally empty out a city stupid fast, and I mean stupid fast. But then secondly, also when it comes to farming resources, if you have a high troop load and let's say you're using someone like Sarka, she does have troop load as well. You don't need to use as much siege or whatever units you're using to farm. You don't need to use as many of them because of the fact that you have a high troop load. So if you have a high troop load, then you don't need to worry about sending out 60,000 troops to farm. But now you kind of do because it's a million resources per tile and stuff, etc. Going over here, once you get through Jewel, which obviously is not that important, just to farm gems, which I never farm gems. I mean, you can farm gems all day if you want, but I need to farm resources. So, yeah. But you get plow and you get sawmill. These are just for resource production as well. Obviously, down the line, I'm gonna be upgrading these, but I just want to say this: the reason why it's taking so long is because of the fact that I have combat tactics at 45 days. So I'm waiting to really wait, and I'm really waiting to speed this up at the right time and do it for Mighty Governor or something like that, so that I can actually get a lot of points for that and hopefully get in the top 10. Even for those little events that give you like the 20 sculptures, you can do it at that time too, and you just you get so many points and everything that could really help you out. So after you get past the blue plow and sawmill, I forgot what levels you actually need to get it to make sure that you can. I think it's only like level 2 that you get these two, and you can unlock all of this. You get scythe, engineering, and whipsaw. Whipsaw and scythe are so important because of the fact that it does help you out so much with actually gathering speed, gathering your food, gathering down over here is your wood. But they also do give you decent amount of power. You can get up to 200, basically 300,000 power per thing. That's 600,000 power just from your tech alone when you actually get it maxed out to level 10, which it does help you out as well. You get also I believe 35%, yeah, 35% boost in farming food and wood. The next two, I think, in the economic technology are the most important. These two help me out so much once I max them out, and it's possibly the most important things to max out when you get to these technologies is engineering, which it gives you 35% boost in building speed, which is also 369,000 power, which is pretty good. And then you come over here to mathematics, and it gives you a 15% research speed with a power of 369 as well. That's alone 700 and something thousand power, and you get so much research speed and building speed that it can actually really reduce the amount of time it takes for your technology and really reduce the amount of time it takes for your buildings. So these two, in my eyes, are one of the two most important in your economic tree that you really need to focus. Coming down over here, open pit quarry and coinage, these are the same things of just getting your resource production up. Obviously, I think when it comes to power, it gives you about the same. So once you really max out your economic tree, you can actually have a decent amount of power just from your economic tree being maxed out. So I'm going to be focusing on that after my combat tactics are done, because I need to focus on, on some of the economic stuff that can actually help me out just in the long run. The economic helps out in the long run, whereas the combat tactics helps you out at the moment or something like you really need at that moment. In a way, it depends. Anyways, going into stone saw and shaft mining. This is obviously just gathering speed for the same stuff, but you do get about, I think it's an extra 100,000 power when you actually max these out. It does take more resources to actually max these out as well, and a bit more time as well. It's a day and 9 hours. I can wait. What I've realized as well, I just wanted to say this: don't try and speed up these texts 24/7. Speed it up when you actually need to. The reason why I'm saying this is because of the fact that, for example, I played Clash of Clans for like so many, I think it was like 4 years or something like that, and a lot of the times you just wait. Now I know the game, you're comparing two different games, but if I'm able to wait in Clash of Clans, I'm able to wait a day to 9 hours for a upgrade to get some stone, to get some stone saw, just 4% and get 20,000 power. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want you to just, oh, I see this, I need to upgrade it instantly and get it maxed out and da da da. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you some of the best ones that you need to focus on. Obviously, I told you the gathering speed ones and the other, and then these two are the most important, but I don't want you to think you have to like speed through all these, because economic is not as important as war, but it is still important. Anyways, going into machinery. Machinery is very important because it actually does all type of resource gathering. So I have a 10% boost basically right now for any resource I gather. So this is including gems and gold and then the rest. So this is really important because of the fact that it go up to 25%, but then you also get 450,000 power, which that's a decent amount of power. That's half a mil, and once you get this maxed out, you're basically doing a decent amount of you're having a decent amount of power just from one little technology that actually helps you out in the long run, which is gathering speed of all your resources. Coming over here, carriage. Ooh, troop load. This one is a lot more than the first tech troop load that they give you. Right now I'm at 7%. But when you get all the way down to level 10, you get a 25% boost in your little troop load. And as you can see over here, when you get past level 7, I think, is it past, yeah, past level 7, you actually could go up 140,000 power, and then a 210,000 power right there. That's a decent amount of power when you're actually going and upgrading your troop load. Obviously it's going to take more days and everything, but that's crazy important when it comes to being able to gather resources, with less troops, and also attacking cities and gaining resources like that way. Also, cutting and polishing, like I said, I obviously don't focus on this because of the fact that I don't gather gems, but this does help out a lot, and it does actually give you a crap ton of power. It actually gives you more power than any of the technologies, I think. And the economic tech class, because it gives you actually 576,000 power, and you get a 35% boost in actually gathering gems. So even during some of the actual tech up not tech, I think it's mighty governors, when it says like gather speed, if you can gather gems a crap ton at a really fast pace, you might actually be able to keep up with some people that are gathering stuff that are just gathering food, stone, wood, da da da, let's get into this. So, military is obviously one of the most important things in this game. In the early stages, obviously you want to go for the higher techs. You want to go, I mean, the main techs, which is getting your tier 2, getting your tier 3. I'm not going to go exactly through all of this, but basically once you unlock your T2, you need to instantly try and go and unlock your T3. I would definitely make sure that you actually focus on getting these little tracking and pathfinding. You need to get these to maxed out level 5 because of the fact that they help you out so much, and including march speed and when you're scouting, which is really good. It allows you to obtain more intelligence when you're scouting compared to getting a report that is really less. Make sure you obviously anything that requires giving you boosts for your infantry or for any type of troop, you definitely need to max these out because they help you out so much, and just the long run for the battles. Coming over here, buckler, leather armor, scale armor, and enhanced axle. Obviously these are just tier 3 basically type upgrades, and basically lets you unlock tier 3, but these you need to max out because they do give you same amount of boosts and stuff, but they do give you, I mean, what's kind of funny, and I want to say this, is that the economic tree kind of gives you more power in the early stages, I think, than the early stages of the military tree, until you get to teach until you unlock your T3s. So once you unlock your T3s, which are, they're beautiful, they're awesome. I remember early stages when you're actually going into a kingdom, these are some of the best just to get early game, because you're just like, yes, I got T3. I can, if someone tries to fight me, I can just beat them up with my T3 and stuff like that. Camouflage, crazy important because of the fact that it allows you to obtain more intelligence by scouting. So you could actually able to detect the unit type and exact number of targets alliance rallied. Obviously there's different types of levels of scouting with this, but yeah, I'm just telling you right now that you can read all that if you want to, but camouflage is definitely very important. Oh, I cannot stress this enough. Combat tactics, defensive formation, and herbal medicine. They're the juice to everything that combine towards the end game, but they take forever. They take so long, and they do cost a crap ton of resources, which that's actually not that much when it comes to nowadays. But basically, when I tell you it gives you so much power, so like the actual stats that it gives you. Over here, when you come over to level 10, which I'm actually going to be getting level 10 soon, it gives you about 845,000 power, something like that, but 15% attack boost for your infantry, or, well, I keep saying infantry, for your units. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful tech right there. Then you come down to defense formation. It's about the same thing. You get the same amount of power and everything, and it goes to 15%. 15% defense right there. However, and I cannot stress this enough, I believe getting level 10 does take about 100 and something days, if I'm correct. And if you don't grab a legendary rune that's like, it gives you a huge amount percentage towards unlocking research. There's runes that do double, which is like research speed and building speed, or there's one that literally just does building speed or research speed. I would wait until then to be doing the like, once you see that, you're like, oh, grab it and then do your research, because I know 15%, 15 extra percent can really bring you down a lot when it comes to these higher techs. 15% can really bring that down, plus the helps. So you could bring this like a 60-day thing down to all the way to like 40 or 30. It really depends. But try and when you're starting these techs, even though they're massively important, try and start them at the right times. Mighty Gov, actual an event that's coming up. That you know that you can speed up. If you can speed these up, then you can be getting a lot of power from it, and it actually helps you out in the long run when it comes to military. Herbal medicine is the same thing, but this gives you health. Health is crazy important if you can actually max this out. And I'm gonna come back to these in a second, going towards the other stuff. I hope I said this right. Cartography. This helps you increase your march speed. What really sucks, and it comes back to the main three, is I can't unlock my 5 extra march speed because of the fact that I need my combat tactics, my defense formation, and my herbal medicine to level 10, which I just told you guys it takes super long. So imagine how long it's gonna take me to actually get this maxed out, which is literally only 47,000 power, but the 5 extra march speed is really important. But anyways, when you get to this point right here, this is the juice of the game. This is the beauty of it. Depending on your civilization, I'm Rome, for example, so I have my legionary. But for example, I really love China's arrow troops when they have their little arrow troops. Byzantine when they have their knights and stuff. I forgot what they're called, but depending on at this point, this is where you get the sexy troops. These are the troops that when you're walking on the field and you see these legionaries, you're like, oh snap, that's T4. You know what I mean? Like you're like, okay, I can't really mess with T4 if I have T3, et cetera, et cetera. It depends. There's a lot. If you can get to a point where it's a lot of T3 can take out T4, but it takes a while. So anyways, when it comes to these, it does give you a lot of power, 159,000 power. I know if I'm correct, they do take about 21 days each, or is it more? No, I think for these it was like 23 or something like that. Depending on your like altars on and basically, if you have stuff that helps you out with recharge speed, then then the times do change. However, when you get to the ballista, if I'm correct, the ballista was about 30 days, and then it goes down, or it was like 35 days or something like that, and then it goes down to like 30 or something like that. So, but obviously ballistas are not that important, but they do give you a lot of power, and they do give you a huge amount of troop load. For gathering resources. Coming over here to your main little stats over here. These stats are great because of the fact that they actually go towards you're increasing your troops by a crap ton. However, they do take a lot of time, which is about 15 days over here just to get us to level 8. So I'm thinking maybe around level 10 it might be like the combat tactics basically to level 9 or something. It might be about a good 60 days. So getting towards that, it gives you a crap ton of power first off, but it gives you really good stats as well. So it's definitely worth it. But since I'm definitely infantry, I have my 2 top ones at level 7 each, and I try and make sure I keep going back and forth with doing it. But yeah, the rest of them I need to focus on, but obviously I've been letting my combat tactics go for a while, especially since I had a 5-month break from the game. So I just literally let the combat tactics go. I forgot, like a couple months ago. So doing this has stopped obviously me upgrading some of the other things that literally this takes 15 days to bring it down. It takes even less. And even what you could do if you have the power in a certain kingdom, basically just ask some. I know this is gonna be such a long video, I'm sorry, but tech is very important. When it comes to your technology right here, if anything, if you can ask the king or the prime minister, or I think the general, if you just ask them, hey, by any chance can I get scientists for like 10 seconds, or not 10 seconds, like a minute, they give it to you, then you can actually do this little boost over here, get your little research from 15 days to maybe even 13 days by a 10% reduction, if I think when you have scientists. So that's really good if you can actually do that, because when I did get my City Hall upgrading, I asked if I can have Architect, and I got Architect, and I actually brought it down from 70 days to 67 days, and then I got a Ruin, and I brought it down. It was, it continues to bring it down. So do that. Do try and make sure that you utilize when you're going to these techs. Try and utilize some of the things in the kingdom, and for yourself as well, when to make sure that you can actually bring these technologies down compared to just starting them at their original start day. Coming over here, obviously these, I would say this, as you can see, I'm 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, and then the rest I'm kind of not doing so well, which I'm gonna get up. But when you would, the two main things in this game is infantry and cav. They are the two most important things in this game by far. Sadly, archers just aren't all that, but they do dish out a lot of damage. So if you actually can do mixed armies, let's say you have really good what is it called, for leader commanders, this is where archers really come into play. But other than that, cav and infantry dominate this game. So I try and focus mainly on these, and I'm definitely going to get my cav up after this and make sure I have those maxed out as well. Going over here, now this is the pain. This is where everything just hurts, because yeah, I got my medical corpse to level 5. It gives me 5 extra HP, which is really good. That's really good. But going over here, level 10, you can get literally 2 million power and get 25% increase in for your health of your units. That's insane. You get what I mean? But coming over here, right, combined arms, I can still get this up, which is really good. It gives you a crap ton of power as well. When you get it to level 10, you get 25% extra in attack, and you get 2 million power. That is a lot of power, but it does take a lot of days as well, so be prepared to go through that. Coming over here, this is the pain. This is the pain of it all. You go to encampment. Encampment increases your defense. You could get this to level 10 as well. It gives you 2 million power, 25% defense, etc. You need cartography level 5, right? And come over here. How do you get cartography level 5? You need to get the others to level 10. How do you get these to level 10? You got to go through basically good 150 something days worth of technologies. Each. Literally each. Luckily, I'll be able to speed this up really soon. But yeah, this is where the military tech, and this is where the kind of the pay to win comes into play to unlock your T5s over here, which you do need Academy 25, and you do need your medical corps to level 10 and your scrotum level 10, which come over here. It's, obviously you can get this to level 10, but getting your medical corps to level 5, you're going to need the other stuff to level 5. So you do unlock your T5 around, I believe, 50 million power. If you're 50 million power and you don't have your T5 unlocked, it might be that you just obviously have a lot of troop power. Like, let's say you just sped up a lot of T4s, you can actually get a crap ton of power by having like 8. If you have like easily like 2 million T4, you can have more than 50,000 power and not have your T5s. T5s also, I believe it doesn't take as long as everything else does. I think T5 only takes about like 30-40 days or something like that, and when you get that, the helps, and you get everything, actually brings it down. So obviously to unlock your T5s, you do need to get your defense type trees, techs basically up to max out at level 10. So it does take you a while to get level T5s, but like I said again, that's the end game, but the end game takes a while. So anyways, guys, I hope this does help you out a lot. Basically every technology is very important, but when it comes to certain technologies, you need to focus on more, and it just helps you out really in the long run. Also, if you could just get through these technologies, if you can get through doing your technologies over here to level 10, and you get through herbalist and you get this to level 10, you can actually focus a lot on some of the little technologies like this and get them to level 7 and stuff like that, and then come over here and focus on your economic technologies and get this all maxed out. It can actually help you out a lot in the long run and give you a lot of power. I hope this guide has helped you out a lot. Let me know what you think, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuces. Oh wait. Ha.